Hey Fight fans, it's Michelle Joy Phelps with Fight Hub TV, and I'm joined now with the one and only Tim Tszyu. Tim, first of all, it's lovely to formally meet you. Obviously know who you are, I've followed your career, but it's nice to sit here and finally meet you in Las Vegas. How are you?
Yeah, very well. I've been here for quite a bit now, some time in America, so yeah, enjoying my time.
Do you prefer now to train out this way?
Sort of just got used to it now.
Yeah.
I like being away from home, sort of get to zone in, lock in, no distractions, so yeah, it's good when you just go all in.
Yeah. Some fighters often find it more challenging being away from home, but obviously you see it as more of like you have the ability to focus more.
Yeah, I don't get homesick, so
Okay.
I'm sort of used to now being on the road, so I don't feel it. I enjoy the feeling of just being locked in and zoned in.
Well, before we get to your next fight, I actually wanted to speak to you because I haven't had the chance to talk to you about the last fight. Wow, it was an absolute massacre. At least it looked that way on television. You talked a bit about how the gash over your forehead distracted you. It sort of took away your ability to focus on the game plan at that point. But was it also challenging kind of having that replacement opponent, 11-day notice, not really having the opportunity to train for someone as tall as he was? You know, I'm sure that probably played a factor in some of it.
Yeah, with boxing you just have to adapt to whatever you're given, the circumstance. Of course, it's not a ideal situation, but I was in my head. I was like, you know what, this would be good. It'll be a good way to put on a statement and show. It doesn't matter who they put in front of me. You can just take them out no matter what. Yeah, things didn't go according to plan, but I think we put on a show for people to remember.
I like your attitude about the loss. You said it didn't really affect you the way it probably would have affected other fighters. So with that said, like, what lessons did you kind of take from that? I'm sure you've watched the fight back, and no, you haven't.
No, I haven't rewatched. I've watched the highlights,
Okay.
but I haven't rewatched the whole fight. I don't really like enjoying watching my previous fights. Actually, I've only watched one fight, which was Carlos Ocampo, because it was only a minute, 2 minutes, 2 minutes long. So
That was a highlight.
yeah, so that's all right for me. Yeah.
Okay. Do you plan to at any point? I mean, I'm sure.
If we ever get in the ring again,
Right.
if that plays a part, then yeah, of course I'll go over tape and study and learn and know everything next time.
Loss or not, I mean, you're still one of the top guys to fight at 154. I mean, obviously, I think, especially because of the height difference, the gash on the forehead was something that was probably more common in that scenario than in any other instance if you were fighting someone your own size. So given that, I mean, you put on a hell of a performance against Fundora. You mentioned that you would ideally in the future like to see it sort of circle back and possibly have that rematch. Do you worry at any stage that may not happen anytime soon, given the fact that there are names like Errol, Spence Jr. and Terence Crawford who've kind of mentioned possibly being interested in a fight against Fundora?
Yeah, the thing with both of me and Fundora is that we've got years and years ahead. Those other boys, they're reaching the end of the clock, so we've got plenty of time ahead of us, and there is no rush. Like the other boys are in a rush. They need to make as much money and make the biggest fights possible now. For us, we're sort of in a good position.
If you had it your way, obviously we're not looking past your opponent, but if you had to kind of, do a pecking order of who you saw as in the future, this is the more priority fights, who would you say those were?
I'd say the biggest fight probably would be in between Errol, Spence and Charlo. Those boys. Of course, Terence Crawford, Sebastian Fundora. There's Virgil Ortiz there as well. There's plenty of names. 154 is red hot right now. It's a good position to be in.
The last couple of years too, you've also kind of done a bit of sitting on the side because of what happened with Charlo. Frustrating, I'd imagine.
Yeah, that's why when he did keep postponing, we kept the momentum rolling and brought the fights back to Australia. We were able to do big crowds and big pay-per-views there, so for us it was a no-brainer to bring a good international opponent out and just keep the momentum rolling and just like keep that activity, because that's what I'm all about, just that old school throwback type. Let's just get it on no matter what.
The fight fans, as well as a few others in the industry, have really wanted to see you fight against Terence Crawford. What did you make of his 154 debut against Madrimov?
I think he did well. I think people are giving. Of course, there's going to be a lot of critics. That's just the one thing about boxing. But I think Crawford did well, considering the fact that he fought Madrimov. He was a tough, awkward challenger. And what's his name? Crawford hurt him a couple of times. So I think he did well.
Did you see recently what Crawford said about, or said to Fundora about? I heard rumors that you were knocked out by Madrimov in sparring. Did you hear about that?
No, I haven't heard about it. Oh, really? Yeah, right.
You never know. I wasn't sure if you heard about it too, because it's a small world when you hear about, sparring stories.
Yeah, well, sparring's sparring. A fight is fight, We do so many rounds here in the gym, but what really matters is when you're under those bright lights. So what's going on outside of the bright lights, it doesn't really matter.
Right. Well, you have a fight coming up October 19th. First of all, are you a little concerned with all the hurricanes currently happening in Florida? Because I heard that even though there's Hurricane Milton coming through, there might be another one right after that.
Oh, no. Well, look, in all honesty, something always happens a week or two before my fight.
It is hurricane season in Florida, though.
Last one was pull out an opponent. It was probably around this time that my opponent got switched from Thurman to Fundora. The fight before I had a dog attack me 2 weeks before that. So fingers crossed. Fingers crossed, guys.
I know. Hopefully not. But it is a bit of a worrying time at the moment. Okay, so you are fighting Bakhram Murtazaliev. I apologize if I said that incorrectly, but tough opponent for you, IBF champ. Another opportunity for you to get a world title. How does this feel for you to be able to kind of have that opportunity quite relatively quickly?
Yeah, it just shows the belief and the position that I was in. It's good to be fighting straight back into it, and again reclaiming the throne, getting back for what's mine.
How do you see the fight going, though?
I think he's tough challenger. In my heart and in my head, I believe I'm levels above, and that's all what I got to show, and that's it. Just bring a relentless type style, and you know how it is. Just bring the heat.
Well, I mean, that's definitely what you always bring. It always looks like an absolute disaster after, though. Blood everywhere. Is that sort of? Do you enjoy that? Do you enjoy that, though?
Well, the blood?
Do you enjoy it? Like some people say, when they get hit and they see the blood, it kind of motivates them a little bit more, like, oh, I got to step it up, or it's just something that they find enticing, I guess.
Not specifically. I enjoy getting headbutted or elbowed and blood coming out. No, I don't enjoy that. I enjoy giving damage, though. Yeah. That's part of my plan. But I enjoy the whole part about boxing, just one-on-one sport. There's no one else out there besides you, and you just gotta literally take their soul, and it's all about listening to the heartbeat of their heartbeat and just taking everything away from them.
I read somewhere that you were talking about that it's hard to have your father in attendance because he's so tough. Give me an example.
Oh, well, hey.
Like whether something he said or done where you're like, oh my God.
It's his way or the highway. My dad is a very stubborn guy, but I think he's much easier now, nice and relaxed. The last time he came to a fight was my first fight 8 years ago. Even though I messaged him about this one, he's coming down for this one. Second time he's coming to my fight. So I think he's more mellow, more relaxed. I said, looking forward to seeing you there. He said, hopefully I'm not a pain in the ass. So I think he understands.
Security's got to be down. Sit down, have him sit down.
My brother's security for him.
Yeah. Oh, how's your brother doing, by the way? He had hand surgery.
Yeah, Nikita just came back from hand surgery. Yeah, I think he's doing all right. Haven't spoken to him, but I think he's good.
Okay. Well, if you don't mind, just because there is obviously a big fight happening this weekend, Beterbiev versus Bivol. Do you have a prediction for that?
Look, I like Beterbiev's style of just that, bring the heat, walk forward, just a monster, just deadly. But Bivol's, I think he's got more tools in in his arsenal. So I'm leaning towards Bivol. Okay. But I want Beterbiev to win.
Your heart's with Beterbiev, but your mind's with Bivol.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Do you see the fight between Alexander Usyk and Tyson Fury going any differently for the rematch?
I think it really depends on Fury's condition. I think the first 6 rounds we got to see a Fury that he was untouched. It was like Muhammad Ali, moving around, making him slip. And then I think the Usyk just sort of created his game plan to switch on more in the later rounds. So it really depends on his conditioning.
The undisputed game's coming out.
Yeah.
You excited for that?
Yeah. I think I'm in it actually.
Boxing needs this. Like exciting.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I'm not a game player anyway, but it would be cool, UFC have been doing it for how many years? It's about time we put the boxing. Yeah.
You gonna play yourself?
100%.
Dream matchups.
For sure.
Last but not least, just out of curiosity, because there's so much opinion surrounding this, Devin Haney suing Ryan Garcia. Warranted? Validated?
Nah, I don't believe in it. Yeah. No need. Let him fight again and see the winner. Yeah.
I definitely think that the rematch between them two would probably significantly outsell the first fight.
Oh, for sure. That'd be massive. And again, plenty of history. It's like I think Ryan Garcia wrote. It's like a Netflix documentary. This whole sequence.
You got dropped from the undisputed game too.
Who?
Ryan Garcia.
Oh, well, you do bad things, you pay your punishment.
Yeah, unfortunate for fight fans, but nonetheless, Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it. All the best to you. Lord willing, there is absolutely no disruption with the hurricanes coming through.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
All right. All the best to you. Thank you. Bye, fight fans.
Thank you so much for watching this video, and make sure to subscribe for more videos of your favorite fighters over here on Fight Up TV, and give us a follow online as well at Fight Up TV on Twitter and on Instagram. We appreciate it, guys.